Hi everyone, Michael here with Hobby Addicts, and I'm here to bring you my opinion of the Radiomaster MT12 and whether or not it's a good fit for you. So let me just jump into it. So I have the Radiomaster MT12 here. I also have the Noble 4 and kind of one of my first radios I used, which was the FlySky GT5, to kind of give you a comparison and just my overall thoughts and opinions on why this would be potentially good for you. So I'll kind of just give you my first initial impression of why I think that is, and that's simply because of value. I think that the Radiomaster MT12 is by far the best value radio on the market right now, and what that means is really how price and performance kind of mixed together. It certainly isn't the highest performance radio out there, nor is it the cheapest, but the amount of performance that you're getting and quality for the price is kind of bar none to everybody else. So I have a lot of familiarity with the Radiomaster brand. I fly drones, so I run the Boxer as my daily driver. It's ELRS system, so it's the exact same system that we have here on this one. This is the ELRS version, not the foreign one. And my recommendation is generally to go with the ELRS system because it's the better link system that is available, as well as the best receiver options that you can get, I think, on the market, like bar none. And what I mean by that is when it comes to buying a receiver and transmitter, you're really looking for a couple of things. So from a performance perspective, you're looking for lower latency. You're looking for a strong link that's not going to fail safe, and then making sure that the range is good enough for you, which in most cases I don't think nowadays that's generally an issue. We just don't go anywhere near the range capacity of these things within line of sight unless you're doing FPV and you're going way beyond line of sight and going behind obstacles. Link's really not going to be an issue. But as far as latency goes, there's some much smarter people that have done some research on the latency of this particular radio, and it was Jacob Schur, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, who did some research and put the average latency of this around 5.4 milliseconds utilizing the ER3 or the ER5C receivers, utilizing ELRS in the 333 megahertz range. So that is a really high quality link. That is like, you can get into racing and not really feel the latency at that point. So that is phenomenal. And what makes it even better is that this ER3C receiver is only $17. It's a 3-channel receiver. And then the 5 series, the ER5C is 5 channels. It's only $20. I can't even begin to stress like how big of a deal this is. My biggest issue with the whole radio manufacturing community, I guess I would call it, is the receivers are just way too expensive. If you look at Lasanwa, Futaba's paying $100 for their like standard receivers, it's just way too much. Especially if you're running, you know, in my case, I have like 10 models of RC cars. I don't want to pay $1,000 plus for just a receiver to put in the thing. But now when you're talking about $17 to $20 for a receiver, and it's producing, you know, a 5.4 milliseconds, a strong quality link that I don't have to worry about fail-safing, that is absolutely phenomenal. So I couldn't recommend it more for that reason alone. And that's kind of the main focus that I want to say from a value perspective is that. And not to say that the radio itself isn't of high quality, because it is. Radiomaster is kind of well known for producing good quality products. So it feels really sturdy in the hand. The trigger feels absolutely buttery smooth. The wheel feels good. The really main issue that I have with the design or ergonomics of this radio is going to be the size of it. and maybe a little bit on the heavier side, along with it being a little bit more feature rich than what I would typically like. They just got a lot of buttons and knobs, and really, I think for the majority of us out there, they're not going to be very useful. Yes, there's people that are going to take advantage of some of them, but really for, I'd say probably, I don't know, at least half of us out there aren't going to be using majority of the buttons that are on this thing. And when I say size, I do want to compare that. So this is the Noble 4, which is my daily driver. Absolutely love this radio. And if you take a look at the size comparison, you can just see it is so much bigger. So that's a big issue for me. I'm not a very big guy, and in my hand it feels really big. It doesn't feel bad. It just wish they could shrink it down quite a bit. And the other thing too is the battery system. It's okay. They use two 18650s, or you can use a LiPo. I think it's a 5,000 milliamp 2-cell, which should last you plenty of time for a full day. But if you don't buy a backup, or if you don't have one charged up, you might be in trouble because it's kind of more proprietary-ish. It needs to be able to fit inside here. I don't know really how often people carry around 18650s that are charged up. It's just not really a common thing in the RC world. So I wish they can improve upon that. They should really take a look at the Noble 4 and what they've done with their battery system. They do have an 18650 in the handle, but they also have the backup battery that is below as the base. I think by far this is the best system that's currently out there. So Radiomaster, if you're listening, like, improve upon it. Like, the big thing is take the batteries out of here, put one in the handle, put a smaller profile at the bottom. That will take a lot of the bulkiness out of the bottom of it, and then the upper portion, it just needs to be shrunk down, I think, quite a bit. Having something with adjustable stick that can go on left or right hand, and then position so that way if you like to run at an angle, you can see I have the actual degrees on there. It makes it more comfortable, and this is why this is my daily driver. It just has all the features that are bare essential to just give you the best driving experience. And not to say that this one isn't going to feel good. I've tried this one out for a little bit now, and it feels good, not great. I think just going from something like a Noble 4, it's definitely not something that I would go to. So if you're someone who has a high quality transmitter at this point, you're not going to be going to the Radiomaster. It's going to be a downgrade if you have a Sanwa, Futaba, a Spectrum, a Noble 4, Noble 4 Pro. Any of those type of receivers is going to be a downgrade to, transmitter is going to be a downgrade going to the MT12. However, if you're new to this, or if you currently just are running, like, ready to run radios, if you're interested in getting into racing but don't want to spend, $300 plus and, $40 to $100 for a receiver, then this is a really great radio to consider. I would say get your hands on it if you can. Find somebody that has one, feel it, and see if it feels good to you. I think the size is potentially the big drawback, but it's a high quality radio, exceptional value. I would not hesitate to recommend it, as long as you're not downgrading from, a potentially better system. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to drop a comment. And I appreciate if you subscribe or like. Thank you so much for watching.